Lepus Proprietary Podcast. I don't know what number it will be now.
Yeah.
We're getting a few under our belt.
Number 3, I think.
Yeah, there we go. Beautiful, man. So let's get into it.
Okay.
Off the back of the Sydney event, 2025
Yep.
October event, which was good.
Had about 70 guys in the room, which
Yep.
is guys and girls, I should say.
Great turnout.
Good turnout. Everybody loved it. And, all about psychology, behaviour, mindset. A little bit different to all the other ones that we do.
Yep.
The other ones are technical, strategy based.
Yep.
But we want to make sure that we fill that gap with the mindset and behaviour.
Yep.
Because that's a big component of becoming a successful trader, especially with traders who come in and want to be funded with us with large account sizes. You've
Yep.
really got to have a strong mindset to be able to do that.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's it, man. Well, getting into today's discussion, I know a lot of people that are going to be watching this are interested to find out more about Lepus Prop. They might be looking at finding, their pathway, I guess, to learning trading. And one thing that I wanted to clear up is the regulation side of Lepus. We are a regulated. Not everyone understands that we're a regulated company, right?
Not many people know that the ASIC, the Australian Financial Services Law, is one of the most strictest in the world.
Yep.
Okay. The top is Singapore.
Yeah.
But Australia is very strict with their regulation.
Yep.
So, I have to do a lot of work on the regulation side to make sure that we just stay compliant. That's a good thing for all people that are looking at us, is that, when you do have an AFSL, it's a really good, strong selling point.
Correct.
Right? Yeah.
And we are being looked at.
Well, I'm being looked at all the time.
So you want to see the regulation number, it is at the bottom of the website, and you can look it up and you can search the number with ASIC, and you will see that there is a financial actual license that is attached to Lepus, right?
Correct.
So,
Lepus and Wolverton Investment Group.
to Wolverton, right, which is the prop firm side of Lepus, and Lepus is a company underneath Wolverton, right? So that's how it's all structured, which is, a very important part of it. So that's one thing that I wanted to discuss, the fact that... Make it very clear, because, there's always naysayers everywhere, right? So it doesn't matter, what regulations you have, how long you've been trading for, the fact that really supports your entire life. People are still going to be out there and they're going to say, is this real? Are you real? Can you trade? And it's like, well... bit of a facepalm moment. But
one thing I've got to add to that is, like, when people search internet or even just ask ChatGPT to do searches and things like that, you've got to remember that, you've got to understand how these things work, right? There's a lot of non-official websites out there that just like to go and put
that's right.
wrong information up, or information that's old, or
That's
whatever it might be. So, always go to official government websites if you're going to do research, and don't be lazy about it. Like, actually find out, not through ChatGPT, but do the hard work.
Exactly. Have some critical thinking, which we spoke about.
Critical thinking is huge when we're in trading.
Not just, hearing an uneducated opinion, someone that's never even, had anything to do with Lepus Prop at all, talking online about X, Y, and Z and taking that as gospel. Well, yes, it's an opinion. You've got to take opinions into consideration, but definitely formulate your own opinion. And that's what, one of the benefits of doing these podcasts is people have the opportunity to, to formulate their own opinion,
just
right?
Call us and we'll answer it for you.
Yeah, that's right. You can just call. It's just as easy as that. How are we dealing with naysayers on a day-to-day basis, or even just not, I wouldn't even say naysayers, even people that are intelligent, but they're just questioning, okay, what do I look for? How do I know this is real? People that are just skeptical,
first
right?
Thing is that you can come and visit me at my office. That's the first step.
Yeah, in the middle of the city, Melbourne.
Or call me and I'll talk to you, right? We're real people. And this is why, I want to get off the online. We're not completely online. We are online enough to communicate with people all over the world, even not just Australia, but we catch up in live forums like the event that we did, so that we can rub shoulders with other traders. You can actually see me. You can poke me to know that I'm real. You can see all of the traders. We talk about traders' results and all those sorts of things. We've got the competition going. Or we've had a competition. We're going to do more competitions. Not just teach guys what it feels like under a little bit of pressure, but also to show that it's real and it's possible and it's all those sorts of things. Now, not everybody's going to get there, but you could see that other guys that have done it, right? It's not just me talking all the time. It's other people as well.
Yep, definitely. And I think, when it comes to learning to trade and undergoing a traineeship like what you have at Lepus Prop, I don't think people in Australia are really used to the fact that it is in-person, hybrid format, online and in person as well, right? Because there are a couple of ways you can go about learning trading properly in Australia, a couple of ways that are popular anyway. But I don't think any other traineeship out there or anything else in Australia is really like that, right? Like you said, we make it real for people by, you're able to look at them in the eye, in the room there, actually help them progress in the moment, coach them in the moment.
But also, it's not entirely compulsory.
No,
right? If you want to come to the live events, come. If you don't, that's okay.
That's right.
We understand that everybody's got lives, but what we've done is that we covered off all bases. Right? Do you want to do virtual learning? Cool. Do you want to come and rub shoulders with us? Great.
Yep.
We've got weekend stuff because we know people work. We've got nightly sessions so you can watch me trade not live and see how I form my opinion, how disciplined I am, my full analysis, repeated over and over and over again, right? But also then there's the one-on-ones. Come and sit down right next to me in my office or over TeamViewer, and we will dissect, just you and me, what it is that's going right and wrong.
Exactly.
Right? So if you want to be a little bit private, that's fine, right?
That's right. But the contact is there.
The contact is there.
The contact is
real,
there.
And it's a real person. It's just the person.
That's right. Yeah, you're not flicking it off to someone else.
It's not some other guy, or it's not a junior or somebody who half knows the content, who hasn't been a trader or whatever it is. All me, right? So you're coming to the top guy and you've got contact with the top guy all the time.
That's right. That's right. And one of the things that I know we wanted to cover today as well is the fact that people think that they can trade holding a baby, in one arm and on the computer in the other hand. What do you think of that?
Because the last podcast I did, I said, listen, I only trade an hour and a half a day, or 2 hours a day.
So let's build on that.
Yeah, well, that's cool, but I'm not, packing the dishwasher and, cooking dinner at the same time. It is close the door, right? At least half an hour, 45 minutes before the open of the session, right? Do your preparation work. Get yourself all of the analysis done. Even go into looking at your past trades. Remind yourself of what works so you can condition yourself into, if something happens in the session, you can react immediately with confidence, right? You're not waiting. You're not looking for confirmation, all those sorts of things, right? It's close the door. Don't come near me for 2 hours or 3 hours, and treat it like you're a professional, right? If you go and do your normal job of the day, you go into your office, you're trying to do everything else at the same time. When you're on holidays, don't trade, right? Do not trade on your phone, okay? Have the desk set up with multiple screens. Do it properly, right? Because you can't analyze properly on a phone, and you certainly can't trade off a phone. Maybe if you're good, you can manage off the phone once the position's in, but you're not doing the correct thing if you're just trading on a phone or an iPad. Forget about it.
That's right.
That's one thing that I will ban. I do ban it. Any of my trainees, any of the guys that are coming through, you're not allowed to use your phone.
It's kind of, I don't know, it doesn't really always work in your best interest to talk this way because, you have other people that are going to be out there. They'll happily tell you, you can get AI to take your trades for you. You can do it from whatever.
Some signal service.
Yeah, some signal service, or you're on the beach.
That's not what we're training for, right?
I know, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't work because, you're not selling the dream in that way. You're not going to go ahead and tell people.
I'm not selling a dream where we
can't do it.
It's an easy thing to do, right?
No, that's right.
And if
but
you
it's
want
real.
somebody else to do it, then go do that. You'll come back to me at some point going, why am I still losing?
The thing is, I would say with that, with my experience, you can go and do that. You can try and do it the easy way. But in my experience of trying to become successful at anything, you don't want to get yourself out of that beginner mentality as quickly as possible, right? Just because you're a beginner doesn't mean you need to approach it like a beginner. You can approach it like you're advanced, like you're a professional from day one. And that's thinking, for example, a beginner would be thinking, how can I take shortcuts? It's normal to think about what's the easiest way to do things, but you don't want to be taking shortcuts, right? There's a difference. True?
Correct.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, you're just going to waste your time, right?
Yeah, exactly.
The decision that you need to make is, do you want to do it or you don't want to do it?
Cool.
Okay? There's no grey area in between. What we're trying to look for is we're looking for guys that can end up trading with us.
That's right.
It's like it's a long-term job interview.
Yeah.
Okay? Not everybody gets there.
Yeah.
Everybody who shows up becomes profitable for themselves at least. And we take the best of the best, as I've said in the past, right? If you're trying to make it easy for yourself, then you're getting off on the wrong foot. What we can do, it is easy when you get started on the right foot and do it the right way. And the only way that I'm saying this is because I've tried it all. I've done it all, right? And this is the only one that works.
Yep.
It's like high discipline, high focus, only for those 2 hours a day, the correct setup, analyzing of what's happening
Yep.
for you, do it properly, and then it's going to go, you're going to be a trader within 12 months.
Yep. Well, yes, that's the usual time window when the people are on the right path. Yeah,
Correct.
absolutely.
And that's from green. That's
Yep.
that's from zero.
That's it.
Right? If you're already experienced, it may go a little bit quicker for you.
Yep.
We don't know. Everybody's different.
Of
Everybody's
course.
an individual. So we don't know. But what we do understand is that, yes, you've got jobs. Yes, you've got family, all of those sorts of things. So we don't expect you to turn up every single night. I'll be there, but sometimes you can't get there, so that's okay.
Yep.
That's all right. But just get into it, knuckle down as much as you can.
Yep. So, guys, Richard started trading, right, before there was electronic trading, right? Didn't you tell me?
There was a little bit of electronic trading.
There was?
But,
It was
but
didn't
I
you say you were
started
printing
I
out?
started on an MT3 account.
MT3.
Right?
Anyone here
MT3.
used MT3?
MT3 doesn't
Definitely
exist
not me.
anymore, right? So that was right back at the start. But yeah, things have changed. But yeah, I think you wanted to start talking about AI and all that sort of stuff as well.
We'll get into
that.
We'll get into that. I think the first thing I want to first of all talk about is the different technical indicators that you use.
Yes.
Yeah. So volume profile, TPO, supply and demand.
Yep.
VWAP.
Well, this is a good thing. This is a lot of traders miss this bit. Okay, but there are different techniques out there, and there's different. If we understand all of those different techniques and all those tools, they start intertwining with each other.
Yep.
Okay, so and I think this is where you were going before, is that when back in the day, in the early '90s. There was a tool that came out before volume profiling was really a thing. It was time price opportunity, okay?
The TPO.
And that was TPO. That was trying to find, the point of control, the nodes, to do with how long price would sit at a particular level.
Yep.
And that's still relevant today, right? So what we will do is we'll find supply demand zones, etc., by taking not just the TPO level. So we'll have a look at it, then we'll exit that, and then we'll put on a volume profile and see how closely a TPO and the volume nodes line up, okay? But not only just on the CFD, and this is one thing that if you're a day trader, okay, a little tip for everybody. If you're a day trader on a CFD index, right, even on the CFD FX major, okay, always reference the futures price, okay? So get your feed from Eurex, get your feed from CME, and have a look, put your profiles onto the futures market as well, so that you can see what the big boys are doing, because institutional traders, they don't trade market-making CFDs, right? They can't even put that size on there. They will be banned, right? And market makers don't want that either, because they're running you off market.
Yep.
So what you've got to do is you've got to see what the big boys are doing on the futures prices, as well as if you want to go back to the CFD to trade the CFD on a smaller amount. So that's why we will always reference back into the FDAX to find where the institutional traders are playing around.
Yep.
Okay.
That's it. So CFD, that's a contract for difference, where you're trading the price of the actual asset, but you're trading on a broker feed and you're trading against the broker, if that makes sense,
Correct.
right? And then whereas if you're trading the futures market, you're trading
against
like
the
participant. Like I will trade a buy and a sell, and it will trade against each other, right?
Direct swap.
Yeah, instead of trading against the broker. So that's the difference, right? So in that futures environment where you're trading against the participants, that the volume there, because everyone's trading a centralized market, right? That's why the volume's bigger. That's why they can pass through. Whereas the volume on an individual broker on a CFD, right?
Might be just priced differently. Maybe just shifted to another,
Yeah.
different price level on it.
That's
okay?
it.
You just got to reference. And what I'll do is like, okay, well, great. That's really interesting to know, Richard, right? But I'll teach you how to interpret that.
Yep.
Right,
Cool.
and what to do if you do get a really reasonably large differentiation between the nodes.
Yep.
Right, but I'll also teach you what to do in the different situations.
Yep.
Right, and we'll
Cool.
do that every night of the week.
So how did you figure out, like, because we all know, you've told us before, I think in one of the previous podcasts, that, you know, techniques are not all made equal. Some tools are not made equal. Some are more effective than others. How did you figure out this combination was something that was worth doing?
A lot of time, a lot of experience, understanding where the masses will sit,
Yeah.
and what are all of the big guys are wanting to do. Okay,
Yeah.
so you're right. How do we rank? Let's say a VWAP, first touch VWAP, 50 rule, supply demand area with the nodes in it. Which one ranks higher and which situation? Yep, they're all different.
Yep.
But if we get a high confluence on some of these, and price does reach back to it, then great. Okay, but if the thing runs away on us and we can take a less impactful or a lower ranking type of signal, then that's cool, but we've got to be willing to accept the risk on that.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, just don't forget, for everybody, when you're trading, you have to accept that you are in the game of risk. Okay. There's no way around it. You are in the game of risk.
Okay.
Right. And you have to accept it. Right.
Which means you could lose money.
Which means you can lose just as much as you can win.
Yeah.
Okay. We try, as we develop as traders, we're looking to get the house edge. Okay, get our, positive standard deviation on our distribution so that we know we've got positive edge, and then we'll trade it.
Yeah.
Okay, and that takes time, that takes experience and things like that.
Yeah.
But what I'm going to do for everybody is shortcut that and
Yeah.
show you what works for me.
Yep.
Right.
That might sound like some big words, but it is all explained inside the
you'll
traineeship,
understand.
and it's not.
If you do the training, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
It's not like super high.
If you
high IQ.
do this now,
Yeah.
do the training, then rewatch this podcast.
Yeah.
It'll all make sense.
Yeah, it's not super high IQ
It's
stuff.
not.
It's
You don't have to. You can have year 9 mathematics as far as you need to go.
Yeah.
Okay. Understanding some basic
Probability.
probability.
Yeah.
As far as we need to go, and just some terminology, and we'll teach you what all the terminology means.
Yeah.
This is the other thing that a lot of guys, right? They come in and they first hear me talking and they go, "Oh my God, you're speaking another language,"
Yeah.
right? But I'll give you a month, 2 months, you'll understand exactly every single thing that I'm saying.
Exactly.
Right?
It's not like trying to learn heart surgery or something like that. This is
Tell you what, heart surgeons are way smarter than me.
yeah, definitely.
that's
smarter
for
than me
sure.
too, I'd say.
I'd be a doctor.
But yeah, that's good. So, are there any, do you think, common techniques that people are out there using, that you can see people are out there using, that you just think are complete rubbish? Anything that come to mind?
Yeah, well, things like simple ones that come up quite a bit. Some guys will put a trend line on the closing price of a candle. The open and the close of the candle is just the price it was at that time. There's nothing more meaning around it than that.
Yeah.
Where you want to put your trend line is at the bottom and top of the wicks. Right? Something simple like that. Okay?
Yeah.
Where the issue is that I find a lot of guys coming to me and they make stuff up.
They've made it
right?
up.
They've made it up. They see a pattern. There's a cognitive bias, and I've written a blog on it. People love to find patterns in clouds, right? You ever go, there's a giraffe in the cloud or whatever.
Yeah.
People love to find patterns, and we're hardwired to finding patterns as human beings, right? And if something you see it a couple of times, you go, then that's a certainty,
Yeah.
right? The thing is like I've been looking at this thing now for 20 plus years, right? It's all the same. When I started in 2004, it's exactly the same as it is now.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe volumes have changed a bit, but there's only a certain number of things that can happen over time and price, right?
Yeah.
And volume, that it all just repeats over and over and over again.
Yep.
But there's a lot of things that people just misinterpret, and unfortunately they'll build bad habits around it. It's really hard to undo.
Okay. Now, how about trading market environments? I know this is something that comes up in the community all the time, right?
Yes.
We talk about adapting to market environments quickly. That's essential when it comes to trading an edge.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
How are we teaching traders to be able to adapt quick enough?
Well, the thing is, you got to learn the market environments first.
Yeah,
okay?
that's
people
step
are
one.
completely, naive toward them.
What are they? We're going to share them?
I will. Yeah, I've got them
All right.
written down in the book.
There we go.
Here we go.
Some nuggets.
Here's the market environment. Market opens, okay? Open drive, open test drive, open rejection reverse, and open auction. Okay. Now, if you, okay, let me go back one step.
Should we show that book?
Yep. Here's the book, Mind Over Markets. Now, if you're brand new at trading, do not read this. Okay, it won't make any sense to you. If you're really experienced, this is one of the last books I get people to read. Okay, if you're brand new at trading, this is the one you should read first.
Super Trader.
Okay, Super Trader by Van Tharp.
Okay.
Okay. Now, a lot of guys will strategy jump, unfortunately. Okay, so professional traders, they will look to adapt to market environment rather than going strategy to strategy. Okay. And what we want to do is, especially on the day trading side, is establish what type of market open are we at, the ones that I just read out. And then we trade according to that. Okay, now those 4 different types of opens, they can change. And what our job is to adapt quickly toward that change. Okay. Are we in an open auction between bouncing in a range? And then if we are, then we sell the tops and buy the bottoms. If that changes by a breach of the last fractal high or low, which creates change of character, then we adapt to it because it's breaking out. Okay, but what we're not going to do is we're not going to adapt. If it breaks out, we're not going to start buying the top or the bottom.
No.
We're going to wait for the pullback.
Okay,
that's essential. Be patient. Wait for pullbacks back into VWAP, back into Lorentz. Okay, which is a strategy that we've got.
So this is, I think, an interesting topic to talk about, right? Because do you think if you're adapting your trading plan per your market environment, would you still consider it discretionary? Well, would you consider it discretionary trading?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's not mechanical.
No, it's not mechanical. It's discretionary. I mean, if you've got a super hard quantitative system, like very mechanical, like hardcore mechanical, it will have its day in its sun.
Yeah.
Market will shift. The market environment will shift and it will die.
So it's the perfect time to start talking about AI trading.
Yes.
Trading with bots. What do you think?
Well, okay. So back when I started, it was all, discretionary at start. Then there was the expert advisors that we could write on MT4, MT5. Then it was neural networks. Now it's AI. Then it'll be something else. Then it'll be the next thing after that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But do they work?
They work for a little bit and then they stop.
Right.
I've written 800 EAs in my life, right?
Okay.
They all have their day in the sun.
Which is a code that will trade, right?
Yeah, it's MQL4,
yeah,
which is an object-oriented coding,
yeah,
which is similar to C++. But you will have to continually update them and change them and all those sorts of things.
Yep.
And then they may stop working. You'll just get frustrated.
Yeah.
What we're trying to do is we do have a certain number of rules that we have to adapt to, and we have to identify confluence zones. We have to identify supply-demand area where all the liquidity sits from institutional traders, etc. And once we know that, you don't need a bot to tell you to do anything.
Okay.
You've already done it.
Yeah.
The best AI is in between your ears.
Okay.
That's AI.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah.
If I show you how to do it, you won't want to use it.
Yep.
Now, AI, okay, I've got AI helping me trade and all those sorts of things. Great. Good.
Yep.
You still haven't learned anything, have you?
Yeah.
Right?
That's right.
Now, do you want to be a self-sufficient independent trader, or do you want something else to do it for you and you're still none the wiser?
Yeah.
That's the question.
Yeah.
Make your choice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Well, you're not really here to entertain that, are you? People that want to take the shortcut, or they think maybe trading AI is going to do a lot of the heavy lifting for them. Well, what do you think of that?
Well, we're a prop firm, right? And I want guys who are going to trade my money, okay? Which means I want you to think for yourself, right? I don't want you to get something else to think for you, because in the end, you don't know what the hell's going wrong if it goes wrong.
Yeah.
You're just going, it's going wrong. And I'm not going to risk my money on that.
Yeah.
No way, okay? So I want you to know what you're doing, and we can have a conversation around it so that we could see what's going wrong if it goes wrong, and we can improve on it. Okay,
Yeah.
not leaving it up to the fairies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. When it comes down to it, you do not recommend trading with AI.
Well, for people, it's not my gig.
Yep.
It's not what I like to do.
Yep.
I've done my days with bots and neural networks,
And you made it work, didn't you?
It did work for a bit,
Yep.
and then it didn't work, and I just got frustrated with it.
Yeah.
What works for me now, understanding what we're doing
Yep.
currently, right?
Which
and it works pretty well.
Longevity as well, because
Yeah,
like
I
you
mean,
said,
our guys
yeah.
are making, the competition that just went past with 1 month, 13%,
Yeah.
just under 10%. These are the top guys.
Yeah.
We're looking at 5 to 10% a month on accounts.
Yeah. Which
using the stuff that we use.
Yeah, and contrast that to some people might hear that and it's crazy, right? Some people hear 5%, they think it's a high return. Some people hear 5% and they're like, "Whoa, my crypto that I just invested in, would do 50% a month."
Well, that's okay. That's if you want to invest in meme coins and have that one-off pink sheet type blow up,
but
right? How many losses do you need to take to get the one that actually moves
right.
big? That's beginner's luck.
That's
most
right.
of the time. You hear some guy who's like putting a gold Ferrari into his penthouse apartment on the 51st floor in Melbourne,
Yep.
right? And he got lucky. There wasn't skill; it was luck, right? That's not what we want. We want consistent,
Yep.
knowledgeable, edge-driven traders
Yep.
that are consistent, right?
Yep.
Who know what they're doing all the time, so you can build that account.
Yep.
5-10% per month, month in, month out,
Yep.
not with crossing your fingers.
And it was amazing what people were able to do in that trading competition, because it really was, I guess, an opportunity for the traders to show that they can, link up their trading account to a third party, which was FX Blue, that can there's no hiding, every
Yeah.
trade, every
Yep.
open, every close, all the prices,
And we
all the
discussed
times
what
that were there.
what the criteria was for
Yep,
selection.
that's right.
Because it's not always the one who made the most money. It's the one who has a good risk to reward, a good win-loss ratio.
Enough trades too.
And enough trades
Yeah.
in there. So
Yeah.
in the month, 100 to 200 trades was about right.
Yeah.
On the day trading side.
Yep.
Not one-off punting with large size differences on their
Yep.
on their exposure. There's
gambles.
a whole heap of criteria.
That's
We
right.
can also dissect that information and identify their behaviour as well.
yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
Yep, it was really, really, really good. And so one of the common questions we get, having to speak to a lot of developing traders, is about order flow as well.
Yep.
Order flow, it's not in your edge.
It's not on our edge. Order flow using a depth of market or level 1, level 2 data is not necessarily something that we really need, because these are orders that haven't been fully executed yet. Okay, and with latency arbitrage, there's a lot of spoofing that's going on to draw other participants in and out of the market,
Yeah.
so that they can kind of make an assessment of who's participating at whatever level, and that's just it moves way too fast. Secondly, like I said, they're not executed orders, so we'll use volume profiling to find the executed orders, and we find where the institutional traders will sit, and we'll be holding trades a little bit longer than arbitrage or high, like full-on scalping type strategies. So we're not really staring at a depth of market that much.
Yeah.
Okay, so which makes it easier for traders, because that is a very different style of trading.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
and I don't like the spoofing side of it.
Yeah.
Okay, and spoofing is, for everybody out there, is like when a bot will place on huge size as a limit order and try and draw people into the market, participants into the market, so that but what they'll do is they'll delete it straight away, right? So it's all algorithmic, really quick spoofing, and it's not really giving you full information of what's going on.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Right? That's why heat maps are kind of a little bit deceitful as well.
Yep.
Okay, so like book map, it's good, it's nice and pretty, right? But it's not necessary.
Yeah.
Okay, we're doing just fine ourselves what we're doing.
Some
okay?
people use it, but
Some people use it.
it's not
that's
necessary.
Great. It's not completely necessary.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. That's good to know. All right then. And what about trading crypto? What do you think about crypto?
Well, crypto is just another market. We've got guys. I've got a few guys in our trading who translate what we're doing. They've got the framework of what we're doing, and they translate across to crypto. Crypto is still a fairly small, believe it or not, small market out there. It is getting bigger and bigger with popularity because everybody loves the fact that it's decentralized. There's no government backing of it, even though they're trying to change that now. But it's because I'm a little bit more old school, I never really picked up crypto. But if people like to do crypto, they can do it, no problem. Okay. Now I'm always been an index trader, FX trader. Gold, silver, on either futures or CFDs. So that's what I stick to. I'm good at it. I don't need to change. For anybody new coming into it, if I could show you how to make money on any market, right, you'll just do it.
That's right.
I don't have to flip flop all over the place with different markets, trying the next best thing or whatever that or whatever. I'll trade what I'm good at, and I'll just leave it at that.
That's right.
I treat trading as an ATM. Go in, get my money, go walk away. That's it.
That's right. I mean, I've seen your trading sessions when you're doing those live sessions. Sometimes within minutes.
I could be done within 10 minutes of the open. And then that's my day done.
Which again isn't to be confused with the fact that you can only need to trade this short window. There's a preparation that goes into that.
There's a lot of preparation. Did we talk about that now?
Yeah, we have.
Okay.
Yeah, but that is that is important.
That's important to make sure you're set up right.
Definitely.
Correct.
I would love to chat more about the Wolverton side of things. Because I think there's a few reasons why people come to Lepus Prop. They love the fact that you have the hybrid learning with the events. I love the fact that each person gets a lot of touch points with you as you coach them into becoming profitable. But also the Wolverton side, the funding side, right? So there is a goal there where a lot of the traders have is to be able to trade with not just their own funds, but
with our investor funds,
company funds, right? So the funds don't have to come out of their own bank account, but they can still get paid on the profit.
Correct.
Right. So explain, I guess, for everyone here, what the Wolverton side is really about, how it all works.
The Wolverton side is our money and some investor money through certain vehicles that we set up. I won't go into that in this session, but we take the best of the best guys and we offer them a position with us to trade with us, and they take profit as they make profit. Okay. Now, sometimes we put a handful of guys together on a one account. Sometimes it would take an individual person who trades on an account themselves. So we could, if you're in the group setting, then you're spreading risk out. If you're individual, then you get a little bit less in the account, that type of thing. Okay.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
We touched on this on one of the other podcasts, but let's go into it a bit more as well. The difference between what Lepus Prop is, which is a proprietary trading firm versus an evaluation firm.
Right. Okay, so valuation firms like FTMO, Top Step, all of those type of guys, there's hundreds of them out there now. If you're not already aware, that it's actually not real money, right? It's they're set, and unfortunately, it's set up so that it's easy access. You pay to get access to money, but if you're not ready, if you don't know what you're doing, you don't have the mindset, you don't have the ability to trade confidently, and don't have that peak performance ability to trade under pressure, then you're just going to lose. And then you'll go and buy another one. Okay. Then you buy another one, and then you'll buy another one, and then by that time you probably dusted 10 grand of your own money, and you really haven't gone anywhere. Okay. Unfortunately. So I'm putting it out there. I'll teach you how to do it properly first. And then you can go back to those guys and do it. But what we're an old school traditional prop firm where we use real money, like SMB Capital out in New York. That we will use real money. We use and we will teach and nurture you. Okay, so we don't axe you if you go into drawdown. We will go, okay, so what's going on for you? Well, how can we improve it? So you're always in the environment of learning and coaching so that you just get better and better and better.
That's right.
Okay, and that does take time. I'm not going to lie; it's not an overnight success. It's not an overnight thing. But if we get you from zero up to a position where you're, we're looking to fund you, then we really get you to get into that right headspace, and so that you're an absolute superstar.
That's it. And I know now, because I've been, part of Lepus and working with you for the past 12 months, I've been able to see traders that have started where they were, and the progression over the last 12 months, it's real. They are progressing.
Yeah.
It's not an overnight success, like you said, but over that 12-month period, you can see the progression. You can see now the traders that are, wanting to go for funding, and some of them are really working their way up there, as well, to be able to build up, they're going for some large funds, which is going to be quite exciting as well.
Yep.
Traders that weren't there before are there now. So they're still in the game, and they haven't busted their accounts. And we speak to these traders at the events as well, and, to go there that whole amount of time and not having blown an account, I think is even a feat in itself, because a lot of the time when it comes to trading, right, survivability, how long can you even stay in the game to be able to actually get through to that 1 or 2 years that you need to put in to make it work.
Yep. And like I said in the last, do it properly or don't.
Yeah, that's right.
That's
Do
pretty
it
simple,
properly or
black
don't.
and white, mate.
Yeah,
Right?
that's right.
You go down you could keep running around in circles for 10 years.
Yeah,
Or you can do it properly and get it over and done with within 1 or 2.
yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So, when a trader, let's say they're at that stage, right? They are thinking about approaching, maybe even calling you up, thinking about getting funding. What would it look like? Like, what would you say to someone that says, I want to be funded? What would you say? What would you ask
the first
them?
thing is, there's a lot of people that can talk the talk
Yeah.
and don't walk the walk.
So they have
right?
to show it.
They have to prove to themselves
Right.
that they've got what it takes. Okay, now we do a 3-month evaluation for people, or funding challenge ourselves.
Which you don't need to pay for, by the way.
But you don't have to pay for it, but you've got to use at least $2,000 of your own money.
Live
I want
money.
to see what,
That's right.
I want to see that you can put your jewels on the line, basically,
Yeah.
right?
Which might sound weird to people, right? Because they're thinking, okay, usually I need to pay for this evaluation, but I don't need to trade live money. That's the way what people are used to. But
I want to see the main thing about using your own money is that, are you being real?
yeah,
Are you actually saying this for real or not?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So you risk your money before I'm going to risk mine. That's fair enough.
That's fair
isn't
enough.
It?
I think so, exactly.
And secondly, if you use your real money, then let's see how you behave,
Yeah.
right? When you've got your own hard-earned money on the line.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's the thing, when there's a thing called Yerkes-Dodson law
Yeah.
in sports psychology.
Yeah.
It's where when you get an increase in stress,
Okay.
performance tends to go down. Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah, correct. So
Yeah.
if you've got your own money, if you're saying I've been doing really well on a demo, cool. Then try and use real money. Let's see how you behave then.
Yeah.
Because your stress goes up because
Stress
that's
will
your
be high for
hard-earned
sure.
money.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is one thing that we focus on a lot is that sports psychology side of trading, so that when you are under pressure, you recognize what's going on and you are actually playing the right game.
Yeah.
Right?
You have to perform.
Okay, because there's no way I'm going to give anybody
Yeah.
$500,000 or $1 million account when they haven't proven to me or that they can do it under pressure, right?
And you're saying that process is around that 3-month.
That's a 3-month thing.
Period.
If somebody wants to come in who thinks they're already experienced, first thing I would say to them is, can you prove it?
Show me 3 months.
Show me the last 3 months that you did on your own account,
Yeah.
or show me this one over the 3 months. Show me that you can do it on your own money, right? Do you have low variance in your equity curve? Do you have the right win-loss system? Do you have the right number of trades? Are you averaging in and out of positions? What's going on when the market's not treating you well?
Yeah.
Right? There's a lot of things that we use to assess what you're doing.
Kind of reminds me of like.
And it's good. Let me just say this.
Yeah.
It's a good thing. Give it a go.
Yeah.
Right? See whether you can do it. Right? I'll have a look at it and I'll give you my honest opinion. You've got nothing to lose. Other than maybe if you do get drawdown on your $2,000, you're going to lose max $500.
Yeah.
It's worth it.
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
Because you'll get the direct feedback from me.
Yeah.
Right? Of what
Yeah.
I think about it. Okay.
It reminds me of like, I guess someone wanting to get funding from a bank, like with a business plan. It's like
Correct.
if you're going to go there, to a bank, they're not just going to hand you money in the same way.
Why do you think that they do a 20% or 80% LVR on home loans? right?
Yeah.
It's because I want to see that you've got your hurt money in there as well.
Exactly,
That's
you
why
need
you've
to.
got to put a deposit on it to make sure you've been serious.
Or that side of it as well.
Well, imagine
Yeah.
banks handing out 100% finance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did happen. That's what happened to the GSC.
Yeah, exactly.
GFC.
Yeah,
right.
It's
Whole
red
world
flag.
blew up.
Red flag. Yeah, red flags all around,
Yeah.
right? So are we looking at so over those 3 months, are you looking at drawdown? You're looking at risk. You're looking at consistency, minimum trades, all these sort of things. Anything else you're looking at?
Well, from that data that we're looking at, profitability versus duration.
Okay.
Yep, that's one thing. Are you holding on to trades too long?
Oh, okay.
I would go through your statement, make sure you got stop losses on everything.
Okay.
Make sure I'll sort the statement by closing time to make sure that you're not averaging out of positions.
Yeah.
So martingale or averaging is an absolute no way. Mm-hmm. Right?
Time bomb.
Every trade must have a stop loss on it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
And I look at the equity curve and you can interpret the style of trading
Yeah.
that they're doing, right? A number of trades as well. Okay.
Yeah.
But we can work out if you're a swing trader, it's obviously going to be different if you're a day trader.
Mm-hmm.
Then once that's done, then there's a conversation around, so tell me what you're doing.
Yeah.
Right? What market are you? Well, I'll know what market you're trading, but what's your style? When's your availability? All of those sorts of things first.
Yep.
Now, I'll be honest with you. I'll be very honest.
Okay.
I do favour, if anybody wants to come in and experience and wanting to do the challenge, great. But I do favour the guys who come through the program
Yeah.
because I know them. I know them very well, and I know that they know what we're talking about.
And that's one of the things, right? So with these evaluation firms, you've never spoken to the owner of these when you
don't
start
know
a
who they
challenge. Like, let's say I wanted to start my challenge today. I don't need to
Rules.
speak to the owner. They don't know me. They don't care about me. But when it comes to a real prop
We
firm,
know you very well.
yeah, you're going to spend a lot of time with Richard, right? So that goes into one of the other things. What's the difference, right, between being funded? Let's say you've got two people. One's funded by an evaluation firm. One's funded by Lepus Proprietary. What is the difference, right?
Well, the difference is that you're going to be held close, right? You're actually in an environment with real traders, and you've got the community around you. You've got us continually training you, right? We don't stop training, and our training is thorough,
Yeah.
right? It's in depth,
Yep.
right? One-on-ones, all of our trader development sessions. You go to a prop firm, go to SMB Capital, go to us, right? We're talking, in trader development session, which is boardroom style discussions about what needs to be discussed.
That's right.
Right? You're not just left on your own.
Yeah.
Right? You're not just good luck to you type of thing.
That's right.
Right? Some prop firms, online valuation firms out there, they'll just go, "Oh, we can train you as well."
Yeah.
Is there
Yeah,
how thorough is it?
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Or am I teaching you what a moving average is?
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. They haven't got a.
Or am I going to teach you what TPO and how does supply demand and
Yeah.
liquidity works
And I've
in depth?
Yeah, and even I've seen some of the evaluations that do say they will teach you. You've got the traders that are coaching, but I don't.
Are they serious
do they know
traders?
how to trade?
How do you know?
That's the question,
Right?
right? So it's a bit different to having someone like yourself, really working on a quite intimate level and so many different learning avenues and ways of learning as well. So whether you're studying the online. Learn at your own pace, whether you've got the one-on-ones, like you said, the hybrid format where you're in person for the events, as well as, mixing it in with the daily live sessions that you're doing as well, the development sessions on the weekend. There's so many different ways people can go about learning.
They can
just to
interact. Yep.
interact with
Because
you.
there's we understand that there's everybody's got a life as well.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
That we've covered all bases basically.
Yeah.
Right. It's suitable for almost everybody.
Yeah.
Because if you've got wife, kids,
Yep.
pick up from school, demanding job at different times, you shift work, whatever it is, we're always around.
Yep.
Okay.
I don't know if we touched on how long does it take usually, do you think, for someone to become, number one, a profitable trader, do you think, on average, and then to from there become or even get some funding?
If you're coming from zero
Yep.
knowledge, first thing is if you've got to be super committed.
Yep.
Okay, you got to be committed to
Yep.
it. Okay, if you're not committed, don't do it.
Yep.
Right, simple. But if this is something that you want, if you're coming from zero, probably about 2 years
Okay.
will become profitable for yourself. And if you're really good, then we'll start, advancing you up.
Yep.
Okay. If you're experienced already or semi-experienced, you're just, in that, break-even zone, or, you can't get over your psychology behaviour, that's a brick wall in your way, then, about a year.
Yep.
Yep.
Cool.
So what I say to guys is just give yourself the time.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
This is, we're not flipping burgers and Maccas, right? It's a skill.
Yep.
Once you get it, it's like Neo in the Matrix. Once you can see the Matrix, then you got it.
Yep, that's right.
Then off you go.
That's right.
But we'll always be there. So what also happens is some guys will come, they'll go, and they'll come back, and they'll go, they'll come back.
Yeah.
Right? So, we'll always be here. So you play it the way that you feel comfortable, type of thing. But obviously, when you do get to that funding stage, you do get into becoming serious. We're right on top of you, right? But there's nothing to be scared about. And all of what I'm saying is that, we will be interacting quite a lot more.
Yeah. It's not an impossible, unattainable goal. People have done it. You've done it.
Have a look at our competition that just happened.
That's right.
There's 8
trainees are doing
the
it.
top 9 guys, they were all above 5%.
That's right.
Top was almost 13% for 1 month.
Definitely.
Right?
Yeah.
And the good thing is other traders, like the guys who aren't quite there yet, they could see the traders that are there at the moment.
That's right.
And they're doing well on it.
And they loved it. They loved seeing, even the traders that are in development, they love seeing the fact that there are trainees out there that are actually seeing the development and actually getting consistent profitability from their trading results and actually, making it a reality for them.
Yeah.
The process works.
There was one, our rising star that came through for the September competition, bus driver, woman, family, kid, all of those sorts of things. Its rising star made about 8% in the month, and the equity, it was all ticked all the boxes. There were a couple of things in there with behaviour and her psychology, but mate, she's on the way.
That's it.
I'll tell you.
Very good.
Now my eyes are focused on her.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And everyone can take a note there. I've seen Richard do this before. If he sees promise, obviously, in the way that you're developing, you will make sure you've got that attention that you're going to need to develop into a profitable trader and get all the support that you need, right? Everyone's getting the support, yes, but, obviously the more that you put into something, the more you can get out of it as well. He can't be there holding your hand. He can't be there making you show up to the sessions, the one-on-ones, or bringing you over to the event. You do have to drive your own growth to an extent, yes, and then you're going to reciprocate, right? So people are going to give, you're going to give back. And then, that's it's really what feeds it all, building into Wolverton and building people into becoming successful and profitable traders, which is what you want to do. And even stepping into that, you want to build people up as big as they can possibly go, right? Not just achieve the first level of funding.
It simply comes down to this. If you show up all the time, you're going to get the max out of me. Like I said, I understand that you've got jobs and things like that, so you don't have to be there every single time. If you're showing up to everything, and you will become profitable for yourself, at least. Right?
At least, yeah.
And then you've got the attention, right?
Yeah.
The ones who don't make it are the ones who do half the course and disappear.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And you're making it work. You've got multiple businesses, you trade, you've got a family, and you're still showing up and you're still getting it done, trading live. Most nights, during the week while the markets are open for everyone to be able to see as well. So, if you don't make excuses, there's no reason why people, that are learning, they shouldn't be making excuses.
But when you come to,
either.
Also, we touched on this in a previous podcast, if you're turning up to a live session, you've got to be focused on it. You can't be half washing, cooking dinner at the same time, right?
That's it, yeah.
Close the door so nobody come and disturb me. This is what I'm doing for the next 2 hours. Okay, it's not 2 hours of half doing something else at the same time. It's 2 hours of focus. Close the door, nobody disturb you, right? And I'll show you. I will let you know step by step what are the things that you need to do from even before you open those charts, right, or start trading. You need to be there half an hour beforehand to do all the prep work.
Yep. So our next event, we're planning Brisbane, aren't we? Yeah.
You want to do it in Brisbane?
Yeah. Well, look, I've never been there before, so I'm happy to go.
Vegas.
Yeah.
Can't wait. Here we come.
Yeah, it should be good.
Yep.
Yeah, it's good to have events. I think it's good that we're doing it.
Stagger them.
Yeah, stacking them and doing them in different cities as well. So obviously there are trainees all over Australia, right? We want to make sure that everyone's got an opportunity at least to go
In their hometown.
tickets, just so everyone know, if you're a trainee of Lepus Prop, they're included, right? There's going to be food there. We're going to obviously take care of you, and it's obviously all included. It's a part of the traineeship. But it's, well, as I was touching on before, it's a way of making sure that in your progression, as you're developing and as you're learning, you're not just saying you have to learn one way. There's multiple ways you can learn, right? If you prefer being on video, just learning on your computer at home, that's online. Yep, that's okay. But the events are there as well, and if you want to get around them, they're a great opportunity to learn.
Yep.
And we're always thinking about ways of innovating that side of the business and the progression of traders.
Yep.
Even as we spoke before about that competition, that was something that I think that's the first competition, right? But that's a way for people to, as we were saying in one of the other podcasts, is learn how to trade under pressure, right?
Under pressure. It's a big, like, out of everybody who started trading in this competition, they said they've learned more in a month than they would within the last 6 months, because they're starting to learn. And this live event went hand in hand with the competition perfectly, because it was everybody's realizing that they all know the techniques, they all can know all of the technicals, they know everything that we're doing every night. But then this competition made it real.
That's right.
It made it put a little bit of pressure, eyes on them, right?
Yeah.
They knew that they have to perform. And I said right at the beginning of the competition, I said to everybody, take very good notice of how you behave now compared to when the competition starts. Are you going to move that stop in a little bit too tight? Are you going to jump out of the trade a little bit too early? Are you going to overclick? Are you going to get your fear factor goes up, right? So that stress, that Yerkes-Dodson law, the stress goes up, performance goes down, right? My job as a coach is to not get you into, to keep you in that peak performance zone, so that all these things will happen to you, but the first step is that you got to recognize it. Right, you've got to be able to self-reflect, right? And these competitions will start people reflecting on what's happened for them. And then in this live event that we just did, we talked about that whole thing.
Yeah.
What happened for people, right?
Amazing. They got so much out of it.
Everybody got so much out of it. So now they're ready for the next competition that we're going to run.
That's
okay?
right.
But I think I might make it compulsory for everybody.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
Because everybody learnt so much out of it.
They do.
I'm going to make everyone do it.
Yeah.
Right? So that they can start self-reflecting.
They can not only they self-reflect, but now once they've done that, right, they are more aware, more aware of what they need to learn, and you as a coach can support them, and it's just about progress. Like, you don't want to be, running around and around and around without making progress. So
correct.
That's why
we're going to expedite your progress.
Exactly. Expedite it to success. In the best way that we possibly can, without rushing it, but just consistently making progress.
Yep.
And that's what everything here at Lepus is about, because I feel like one of the things that we always get faced with is, why do you do Lepus Prop? Why are you running businesses if you can trade well? Well, it's the mindset of doing things well, right? You want to it's not only about achieving success in one area in your life. Just like if you were funded, you're not just going to be happy that you would. I mean, once you've overcome the hard part, which is becoming profitable to begin with and getting funded to begin with, you want to keep that going. Like, success can become quite addicting.
Keep that performance.
Keep the performance. And how good does it feel when you get a bit of progress out of a trainee? They start to achieve a bit of success. They go into the prop firm. That's now become a win-win relationship.
That's the thing. I mean, let me go back to a point that you were saying. Why do I do this if I can do it for myself? Right? People do others. I bet you there's people
all
watching this now going, why don't you just trade for yourself, bro? I do trade for myself. I do. I trade every night for myself. Yeah, believe it or not.
I know. I get all the screenshots.
I make my 10% a month, 5, 10, 13% a month, and that's great, right? But I remember when I started trading, I was the guy who closed the bedroom door and tried to do it all on my own. And I went around in circles for about 7 years, just frustrated with it. Emotional roller coaster. I was like, euphoric on one side, then depressed the next day, and couldn't work it out. I started off doing a course. My first course was with a mob who just taught me what divergence was. I said, "There's way more than that. There's way more than that to this shit, right?"
Yeah.
So then I go, well, do you know what? I've got to work out what is going on, right? So I started writing I read all of the books. I read everything that I could get my hands on. Watched all of Mark Douglas's videos. I watched everything, right? And then I realized, look at all of these components that all have to line up, right, for you actually to be consistently good, right? But me also teaching guys about it, right, it just clarifies it more and more and more and more and more, right? And I'm just hungry for knowing everything. I've just bought this guy's book, right? And I can't wait to go through it
Keep
in
going.
detail.
That's right. Yeah.
Right. I've got 200 odd books in my office, which I've read every single one of them. It's not just trading, but it's also psychology books, right? But I remember when guys, like I see guys now that they're starting down the wrong path, and I just want to save them.
Yeah.
Right. I'll even say to them, if you don't want to do it properly, just fucking stop.
Just stop
Excuse my French there, right? Just stop,
Yeah.
right? Just don't do it,
Yeah.
if you're not going to do it properly.
Agreed.
But what I want to do is I want to save guys the time component of getting frustrated on a roller coaster, still there 10 years later,
Might save their
running
hairline
around
too.
in circles, strategy jumping and losing money.
Yep.
Right? I'll save you now.
Yep.
Right? That's the reason why I'm doing it. And
Yep.
then also with the prop firm, get the guys around me that we can all work together.
Yep.
Right? And make a ton of money.
Yeah.
Right?
And the incentives are aligned. You want
Correct.
people to succeed with their
Yep.
trading because
it's a win-win for everyone.
Exactly,
Right?
and that's a smart business, and it creates I think all the smartest businesses are a win-win relationship, right?
Correct.
Everyone's winning all around, which I think, as I think we're running out of time here as well, we'll sort of wrap it up there. But
Yep.
as a closing note, it is so unique to find that. Where you do have the
Full service.
the full service, and the incentives actually aligned, right? I don't think anyone else in Australia is really doing it the way that you are, Richard. So my hat goes off to you, and I really do encourage everyone. Yeah, it's genuine. So I encourage, if you are serious about learning to trade, there's always a way to get in touch with Lepus. You can inquire with your name, email, and phone number. There'll be a link in the About section. You can always go on the website and schedule a call that way. You can start a conversation with one of the team, and we'll talk about whether you want to make that step for yourself. There's never a big sales pitch with something like this, but I do like to mention it because, like Richard said, there are other ways you can go about learning trading, and not all of them are going to be like this. You're not always going to have someone that actually cares about your success in the way that Richard does, and also have your incentives aligned in this way. So if you are considering trading as a career, do take the step. Definitely do encourage that, just at least to start the conversation. And then if it is a good fit, we'll look at the next steps. But if it's not, that's okay as well. We're going to keep it real with you either way. That's the thing. And I hope people really got that vibe from this discussion. It's just keep it real. Keep it real. And then if you're going to do it, you're going to do it right. And at least you're not wasting your money because you're going to do it right.
Correct.
So that's how it is.
All right.
All right. Job done.
Thank you.
Alrighty. See you in the next one.
See ya.